Good afternoon. You're listening to WVBN, the world's choice for weekly news. This is a special report from the League of Nations, outlining a set of resolutions and protocols agreed upon by the great powers of the world in response to the Morgana invasion. Over the course of a number of weeks, and with several upsets during the proceedings, delegates agreed upon these resolutions concerning the state of humanity. That humanity as a whole is under sustained and arbitrary attack by unknown and unnatural naval forces. That certain man-made warships have manifested human-like avatars, uniquely capable of defending against the enemy's chemical and exotic offensive capabilities. That these avatars are able to express free will, and that their concentration on the common enemy is essential to the common defense. That for the common defense of the whole of humanity and the preservation of international trade, an international naval protection force will be created with the purpose of repulsing the enemy and investigating its origins. Following these announcements, a set of protocols were put forward. These were rules and regulations to be followed by the nations and captains of the world and their bells. 1. The League of Nations will impanel an Admiralty Board, subject to approval as discussed in Appendix A, to coordinate and supervise the actions of the International Protection Fleet, or INPF. 2. The Admiralty Board's role will be primarily advisory, and will not generally supersede the directives of national leaders in cases where the two come into conflict. 3. The participating ships will be those, and only those, possessed of the aforementioned avatars, where A. To be recognized as an avatar, these entities must demonstrate apotropaic qualities in the presence of the enemy's exotic chemical weapons. They must exert measurable supernatural control over the systems of the ships they represent, and they must be considered in good standing with the nations that they serve. And B. Operations taken at the behest of the INPF and consistent with INPF protocols will not be considered evidence of disloyalty to their home nations. 4. In cases where the existing chain of command on these vessels is severely disrupted, the avatars of the ship will be allowed a degree of deference in the selection of their commanding officers, pending further review by their nations of origin. 5. The creation and operation of the INPF will not invalidate formal and legitimate declarations of war between sovereign nations. 6. Ships participating in the INPF will not participate in military actions against other human powers. 7. Ships participating in the INPF will not be subject to undue military interference in the pursuit of their duties. 8. Ships participating in the INPF will remain the property of their home nations. 9. The crews of INPF vessels may be international in nature, but a simple majority or more of the crew should be citizens of the vessel's parent nation. 10. Available ports and shipbuilding facilities should be open to any INPF vessel in good standing. 11. INPF vessels may utilize without legal penalty any available weapons or equipment, regardless of national origin, so long as their acquisition is consistent with adjusted international law, see Appendix C. 12. INPF vessels may be required to contribute to their own upkeep and refits in cases where the host ports lack adequate supplies or personnel. And 13. The officer involved in Incident X, the Battle of Rotterdam, and the Battle of the Skagerrak Strait, is recognized as the first captain of the fleet of the INPF. What ramifications this will have in the months and years is unknown. That's all for this report. Join us again at WVBN as we bring you the latest news from around the world. From all of us here at the studio, stay safe out there.